I still can't believe all of this copper piping was less than $250 to get this done, when some other systems in aluminum piping are over $600. If you haven't watched that episode, I'll link it up here and you can go check out what we've completed. But today's episode is all about hooking this water line up, looking for leaks and testing the system to see how we're doing and how much performance we can get out of this system altogether. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Detached Garage. You join me in the wash bay area again as we are completing the hookup of the water today on this system. I am super excited. It's turned out great. Let's take a closer look here at what we've all got done. So you can see the water coming out of the floor over here. This is what the project is today, to get that hooked up to this T here. But in the last episode, we got all of this copper piping done all the way up to the 3/4 NPT that will eventually go into the pressure washer system. So today we are going to take a look at how we're going to hook up this PEX line to this T right here. And we're also going to test the overall performance of the system. Number one test is going to be a leak check. Again, I have never had a ProPress fitting fail or leak, knock on wood. So we are going to check for leaks, then we're going to check the performance of the system through this hose nozzle, and we will figure out how many GPM we are going to get through the deionizing system, as well as through just the standard soft water system that's going to go through. So let's get the camera flipped around. We'll show you what we're looking at for getting this piece of PEX hooked up to this copper T. All right, guys, so working in the corner here, we have our shark bite fitting, 3/4 shark bite to 3/4 MPT, and then another fitting of 3/4 MPT to ProPress. So what's going to happen is we are going to cut this to length. Then, hugely important with shark bites are making sure that they are burr-free on the end. And we've got a little bit of paint overspray here, so we're gonna take some sandpaper, get this nice and cleaned up, and then we are going to run it through the 3/4 deburr here, which is this black disc. You stick the pipe in, and then make sure there's no burrs on the pipe. Just kind of spin it in there. And so that is hugely important for shark bites. Normally, I would use a PEX expander. This is PEX A, so we could use that. But the advantage of shark bites is that you can take them off if you need to, where if you do the PEX expander and shove the fitting in, and if we did a PEX A fitting to a 3/4 MPT, that would be the single time use for that pipe. And with this height, we really only get one shot at this if we were to go that route. But since we are not going that route, and since we are going with the shark bite, we can take this on and off. I'm gonna try and do this once. I'm gonna try and measure everything and make sure we get it correct the first time. But just in case we need to take it off and trim the height a little bit to get everything to line up, I went with the shark bite instead. So what we're gonna do is first is we are going to get this Teflon taped. We are gonna get these two fittings put together, and then we are gonna start measuring our height. So we've got some additional gray standoffs here. So this is gonna stand off the wall a little bit and kind of be out here in this kind of neck of the woods. Tough to do with one hand here. So this is gonna stand off the wall a little bit because of that gray. So then basically, once we get this fitting set, then we can measure how far we need to come off of here. So the other thing we need to figure out is, are we going to do a 45 and go to the wall, or are we going to do a 90, come to the wall, and another 90 and go this way? So that is another thing to figure out, but I think the first thing we are going to do is get this fitting on the wall, on the PEX, with one of those, an additional clamp up closer to the top, and get that figured out first. And I think in order to do that, we are going to need to measure how high off the ground the center line of this tube is so that we can make sure it matches up with the center line of this tube here. And then we have no issues with this thing being level or tipping. It's hidden in the corner. It's not going to be a good deal. But if you're going to do something, let's try to do it as right as possible. So let's get the time lapse rolling and we will get this fitting put on that pipe. We are not that far into this video and I have already made a mistake, but that's why you're watching this channel, so you can avoid it. So this handy dandy Plex deburring tool. So this line here, you can see this step on it. That is where you mark it to make sure that your PEX goes in far enough. And so you can see the line, we are down to it. So this fitting is down far enough onto the PEX. The challenge is when you make a mark, you should probably check it before you cut, which I didn't. So we are about 43 inches off the ground here to the center line of this pipe. And you can see this mark up here, that is the actual center line of the pipe right here. So we are about an inch low, but we can get that figured out. So we are going to, I think, just do 290s off of this guy. We'll do 190 going down, 190 going this way, and then we will basically be able to angle this first 90 down slightly so that it gets to the wall and it's about an inch. We will try to get a standoff put right here, another one of these. And so we will get all of this mocked up and get this figured out. Here's the stud right here. So the standoff will go right in the middle, another one of these gray pieces. So let's get our 90s. Let's get the little pieces that are gonna go in between them and get that all mocked up. All right, guys, all crimped up, good and done. We've got all of these crimped, and this thing is pretty darn level. Love it. Really, really good. Got secure attachment points all the way across. So now the thing we need to do is put a fitting in here, and we are going to do 3/4 MPT to garden hose. And once we get that done, then we can put the garden hose on, which I have over here. And I have a special Prevost fitting on here. And this is a quick disconnect that shuts the water off if nothing is in it. So what we're gonna do is with the other end here, we've got the 3/4 MPT to garden hose. We'll get some new tape on that, and we'll get that put in here. So then that will just hang. We're not gonna install the pressure washer today, but with that hanging, basically what we will do then is be able to prime this system and check for leaks. We've got everything else hooked up. We've got the hose spigot off, and then we can do some testing after that on how many GPM we're able to flow with this faucet. So let's get this on, let's get this retaped, ready to go, and installed into that fitting, and then we can turn the water on. All right, guys, everything is off. We've got all of the fittings off all of the valves off. Everything is off. And so we need to go into the basement to turn this on. We've got this hooked up. Again, this quick disconnect will not have water coming out of it because it is a special Prevost quick disconnect. I'll link that in the description above. And we've got everything hooked up here. So theoretically, water should come in and stop here and stop here. So that way we would be leak checking all of these fittings here. Now, just before we go turn the water on, I am going to look. We have ProPressed, 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 ProPress, 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 ProPress. All of it, there. Just check all the way back to here. Shark bite on there. And we're down to the line on the shark bite. So everything should be sealed. I'm gonna set the camera up. I'm gonna go in the basement and set the camera up and see if anything leaks. And we'll go from there. All right, let's go give this a try. All right, guys, no leaks that I can see. This does not feel wet. This is probably the biggest one I'd be concerned about here. No leaks here. So what I am going to do is we have that valve off. I'm going to open this one up. I can see bubbles coming up through here. So I think we have water here. So I'm going to put this right here. See if we can get some water out of it. We have water. All right. So now that we have water, so we've got water coming through. We've got all of these fittings here. It's tough because I am a little bit wet now, but so we've got all these fittings. I'm probably going to spread some paper towels here, leave this charged up overnight, and just make sure we don't have any leaks. No leaks that I can see. All right, so now we will shut this off, and we will we'll shut this off. I'm going to move these tools, my shelf of my deionizing shelf here. I don't know if this is going to fly out or not, but we will get water into here. So let's do that. Filling that up. Oh. We have a leak right here. It is on the plug here for the it is on the plug for the, what do you call it? The leak is on the plug for the TDS meter. So, not ideal. Well guys, that's the way it goes sometimes. We got a leak on this fitting right here, wiggling back and forth. So, next steps are going to be to remove this. I'm going to do that in a different episode. And then we'll do the testing in a different episode as well. I was pretty impressed with how much water this was putting out. You can see the bucket is pretty much 3/4 of the way full here. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. We'll have a whole nother episode on doing the testing as well as fixing this leak in the future. Thanks so much for watching Detached Garage, and I hope to catch you on the next episode.